I've been preparing for 6 to 8 months. Excuse my French, I am pissed off.
On Seattle Surge, they are slowly but surely fading away.
Well, the 2020 season started out not ideally. You know, I had a roster in mind that I didn't end up getting, obviously. So we started the season on the back foot there. You know, we tried to do our best to make it work, but the first few events didn't go exactly in our favor. We lost to everyone we played except for the LA Gorillas, which took some miracles in itself to actually win those series as well. Damon ended up retiring in June after we had played with Casey for a little while. He just wasn't enjoying himself in Modern Warfare. You know, we were having some role issues, and we had made a role change to let me run a sub, I think about a week prior to his decision to retire. He finally got to run main AR, and that was something that he wanted to do for a little while. And then we decided to switch back, and I think that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. Wow, I'm a rapper, that's crazy. And towards the end of the year, it got pretty difficult. You know, I'm a competitor at heart, along with all my teammates last year, so getting on and playing every day, like, it wasn't hard to do. It was just like the results that weren't coming to us after, like, you know, the amount of work that was actually being put in. It kind of sucked, and it definitely took a toll on my mental a little bit towards the tail end of the year. You know, getting on every day and doing the same thing over and over again, you know, like definition of insanity type thing. Went to champs and got dead last. We got 3-0'd by the Paris Legion, and that was the end of my 2020.
Octane, who's going to be here to help this guy?
I didn't really know what was going to happen. I didn't know if they wanted to, you know, blow up the whole roster and go a different direction. You know, start like a rebuild process or something like that. But, you know, I was approached by Bob, our general manager, and he made it adamantly clear that they wanted to build around me. You know, he said that the last thing in the world he wanted was a repeat of last year, and they wanted to attempt to make a championship caliber roster, so he, you know, put his full faith in me and our ability to put a team together. So I haven't played with Pierce or Preston before. Obviously, I've played with Danny twice in the past. I'm just excited to play with Preston because I think he's a player that a lot of people like to write off or consider you know, like a very hot or cold, hit or miss kind of player. But I think if you can, like, get to a sweet spot with those kinds of players, they can become the best in the game, which he's been before.
We got the team we originally wanted the whole time, so I'm happy and excited to be playing next year with the guys. This is the exact team I wanted.
Pierce, you know, he has a reputation that precedes him for sure.
When I'm out of game, you know, I have, like, the Pierce, like, Pierce has to reap all the repercussions because Gunless was sitting there literally going ruthlessly at people because they weren't giving their 100%. And I'm just like, okay, well, they think I'm an now.
I'm excited to play with him because I think that there's a system around him, and Pierce and Preston are very, very close friends.
It's had its bumps in the road. I think every relationship, no matter what, if some friendship has, you know, those moments. But yeah, we basically came up together, me, him, and iLLeY. We were a really good core of 3. We ended up doing really well, and, you know, one event fell apart, and, you know, we were always going to end up being cool again. I was hoping I could team with him again eventually, and, you know, I finally got him, so I'm gonna make it work this time.
I was stressed out because I had to pay for all the stuff that, like, a normal 18-year-old should never have to pay for whatsoever. All of that just coming crashing down on me, like, I obviously just let it kind of affect me mentally and just let me make really stupid decisions that I really do regret. iLLeY and Preston have forgive me for, which I'm still surprised that they have, because when they did, like, that was like something that, like, I considered like more of like the best thing in my entire life. Like, those 2 people, like, are the best thing that ever happened to me whatsoever, because they saved me from a spot that I can't even, like, put into words, like such like a hellhole, and, like, you know, filled my life with something that I can actually call my own and, like, be able to be happy about that. We kind of built our relationship back up, and, like, I apologized to them multiple times, and, you know, said, like, I was such a stupid idiot, like, back then, and, like, you know, they have all forgiven me, and I'm really happy to kind of move forward with Preston and get to work and show him my actual full potential going into this team.
And then Danny, I played with him twice in the past. He was on my first professional team, but my main, I would call it my first professional team on Envy in Advanced Warfare. And then again, we played in BO3 when I was on Rise, when I won my first championship. So Dan and I, we go way back. He's one of the best leaders in Call of Duty. He's one of the most underrated players, and I think that he's on this team to facilitate Preston and Pierce in a way that is just going to help us out a lot on the battlefield. And I'm just excited to play with Pierce. I know Danny's one of his favorite teammates he's ever had. Danny and him have a way of speaking to each other that I think help out each other a lot.
You know, they get into it. They fight straight up, like, they just be yelling at each other. Like, they like to do that, and I don't mind getting yelled at. You know, back in the day I used to, like 2017, I'd have the most attitude. These days I love getting better. You know, it's what really like improves me. And I haven't had someone yelling at me other than aLLeY for like the past 2 years. So I'm really excited to honestly hear their feedback after every map, even if they're yelling at each other. I'm gonna just let them go at it. If they're coming at me, I'll listen, you know.
I really wanted to play with Dan because Dan just has that skill and like his persona. I can say whatever I want to him in game and like he won't take it seriously whatsoever or take it personal. And then once we're out of game, he understands that I'm Pierce and he's Dan and we're two different people. We're not Gunless and Loony anymore. I can actually be my like true self around him and not really have to worry about the repercussions. And I feel like he really pushes me to be a better player at all times. Sometimes it's in like a bad manner, but I don't care how somebody kind of tells me what I'm doing right or what I'm doing wrong. As long as they're trying to get me to be a better player, that's all I care about. Like the win at the end of the day is all that matters. Back on our Rise Nation like squad, me and him never disagreed on pretty much anything. Obviously we had our little fights on what we thought was right and what we thought was wrong, but for the most part, like I feel like Dan's gonna be taking over that like role of being able to, you know, making sure everyone's doing the right stuff and helping people to go to the right places at the right time.
And then I know Danny isn't always meant for the flashy plays, and I don't really think that's the reason he's on this team. I don't think that our sub duo is going to get blown out by anyone else. Simp or aBeZy, the pinnacle of sub duo. You know, when our roster was announced, that was the main thing that people really gravitated towards as the main criticism. But I don't think that it's going to get to the point where like, oh, we're just losing games because Danny and Preston can't keep up. Like, we're professional players. Preston is absolutely gross when, you know, he's playing the way he wants to and his own speed and he's comfortable. And then Danny has always just been able to go even and tell everyone else how to play, and that's what he's on this team for. So I don't think that that will be an issue, and if it is, then, you know, we'll visit it in the future. But I think that me and Pierce are going to be able to pick up any slack that there is.
Preston's going to be like the kind of fast submachine gun player with Dan. They're going to try to, like, you know, work together. And I feel like that kind of duo, being able to always watch over themselves and be able to keep up the pace, like be able to switch up, like if they want to be slow or fast, is going to be a really good asset to them, since I know they're both really heavy on communication, which I do really enjoy.
Loony, he's obviously he's a selfless player. We try to play fundamentally correct. I try to. I know sometimes it seems like I'm not because I'm just sprinting at people and I'm like trying to bait my life. But I feel like with Dan on the team, like me and him are going to mesh really well. As a sub, I'm going to slow down a lot, and I feel like our pacing is going to be really good with this team.
And then I'm going to be the flex, and I feel like the flex, for the most part, kind of just dictates the kind of flow of the game and how the game is either fast or slow.
Sam, obviously, main AR. Probably top 2 main AR every year, every single year. It doesn't matter what game it is.
It is Octane, one of the most talented players in the history of Call of Duty.
I think with the whole personality clashing opinions from a bunch of people, I think we're going to be just fine, honestly.
I think that there's a system around Pierce right now that can facilitate his thoughts and ideas about how to play the game and his attitude and his drive and desire to get better, as opposed to like bringing a team down and like sowing seeds of doubt and stuff like that, like everyone thinks he does. You know, he is a hothead, but I think his passion for winning is what people mistake for, you know, being an asshole at times.
You know, I think we're all honestly fine. You know, people think I am emotional, but like that's just because I want to win and I'm just passionate about whatever, you know, I'm into. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. People think I'm soft. It's me wanting to win. I'm just hard on myself. I'm not hard on my teammates. Like, I blame myself. As a whole, our team is going to come together like perfectly in terms of getting better and arguments and, you know, getting you know, the right play to happen after maps when we do something wrong. I think it'll be better than having people that get along and not talk after maps. So that's one element I'm excited for with this team.
Once again, look at that kill feed, all lighting up for Surge.
A lot of people say Seattle Surge doesn't really have the slaying power and all that stuff, and I read it and I just kind of laugh because I feel like this is like going to be one of my better teams, and I honestly cannot wait to show people once again that fundamentals means more than kills and slaying and all that stuff.
You know, winning is paramount as it should be for everyone in the league, and if it's not, then you shouldn't be in the league anyway.
Prove people that, you know, it doesn't take 4 superstars to win. With everyone on this roster, I think we mesh really well. It doesn't matter. You serious, Coco? I'm sorry, my dog walked on cam. Coco, get out of my room, bro. You gotta get out. Go. I'll restart. Holy can't believe it.